my gosh, we all know that Black women are the blueprint, right? We hear it, it's ringing bells every single place, right? But do you know, well, I'm pretty sure you've heard this stat though, we're dying 7 years earlier than our counterparts. What? Why? Like, because we look so good the whole time, right? Like nobody's suspecting that our sisters, our aunties, our mothers are the first to leave this earth compared to, again, our counterparts. You know why? Do you know why? Well, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and get into it. It's really because in our hip hop culture and also in Black culture, we have romanticized the fact of independence, right? You know, we got the INDE. Y'all know all of the hits we done had all of our life about just praising women for being able to do it all, right? Like we've even hashtag Black Girl Magic, hashtag Black Women of the Blueprint. And, you know, and I've even fell for some of the hype myself, because again, we all want to feel important. We all want to feel special. But the reality of that is that we weren't meant to do it alone. And today I really want to talk about how, if you cross the river in a crowd, the crocodile won't eat you. What, Brittany? So look, this is an African proverb, y'all. And the proverb is really symbolic for like, look, a lot of us, we are getting in the water by ourselves. And because, again, Black don't crack, and we have been able to just bend and not necessarily break, but we do break because we're leaving here easier. But we have been so resilient that we don't realize that the crocodile of life has been eating us up slowly and slowly and slowly, to the fact that we're leaving here and we're leaving our families instead of leaving the legacy of generational wealth, of abundance, of all of those things because of our independence, right? So I want us today to go ahead and kill that notion of that we are the INDE, she got her own. So how do we just be in tandem with each other, right? So how did I even get to the point of this notion, you guys? Well, my name is Brittany Raji Alberty. I am a mamaprenuer, a socialite. I'm a wife. I'm a whole lot of things, right? And I used to do a whole lot of other things. But in this season, I am learning how to be interdependent, right? And when I wanted to come in and talk about this particular subject, I really wanted to hit in on how community really is the future of commerce. But not only that, that we were made to cross the river in a crowd, right? Because how many of y'all have ever been through something where you were just like, God, I don't know how I'm gonna get out of this, right? How many of y'all have been at work, and because you've been the person who's been the most flexible and bending, because often people have, again, romanticized the Black woman of how we can do all of these things. So they throw all of the things on your desk that would be impossible for someone else to do, but you do it and you still look good and you don't complain, but that don't mean that your body's not keeping score of all of the things that you put on it, right? I know, me too, I'm guilty too, y'all. Even now, looking at myself, I'm the largest that I've ever been. That's because I've taken on the weight of the world in so many other places. But today, you and I are going to hold each other accountable of not only letting that go, but we're going to grow in community and accountability, right? So I want you to go ahead and know that help is not a curse word, sis. Help is the luxury that you deserve, right? So let's go back into getting into the river. When we're in the river of life, when we become executives, when we become CEOs now, you know, we turn up the C-suite swing, when we become now wives, mothers, a lot of us are the first to do a lot of the things that we're doing right now. And often it could be isolating. It could be overwhelming, all of those things. But let me tell you, the benefits of being in community are just ridiculous, y'all. Now, I looked these up. I got them on Forbes and Entrepreneurs, so don't just think I'm pulling this stuff out of my hat. But some of the benefits are actually even a physical boost and a mental health boost. It increases the access of safety, nutrition, and overall well-being. It's a sense of belonging. You become more active. Your self-esteem is higher. These are just some of the things that we can actually receive when we allow ourselves to be in community and not to carry the burden alone. I want to tell you about 5-year-old Brittany. All right, let's get into it. I'm from a city called St. Louis, Missouri, and we breed champions, y'all. Let me just tell you something. Your Dr. Maya Angelou's, the first Black woman millionaire, Madam C.J. Walker, Cedric the Entertainer, Jennifer Lewis. So many greats have come from my city. I know y'all done heard of my dirty Nelly, but we just move on past that, right? But I just want you to know that this city has bred some of America's most prominent Black women, from the first Black woman millionaire to even some of the iconic civil rights leaders like Josephine Baker. But within that, y'all, the reason these people have become so resilient, and this is also a place of so much segregation, redlining, and in fact, some of our schools didn't even integrate into the 1990s. So being a 90s baby myself and growing up where my mom experienced a lot of racial profiling, a lot of didn't know where she was going to move, and, you know, being a single mom, and I moved around a lot. I bounced around from house to house because my mama was ruthless with our standard of living. See, I come from, I consider myself Black privilege, right? Even though I live, you know, we didn't have it easy, we weren't amidst the struggles. We definitely, my mom had the opportunity and the mindset to always strive for better. But in the midst of her striving for better, I went from school to school. In fact, I've been to 12 schools by the time I graduated college, all in the St. Louis region. But then I constantly had to start over mentally. This actually caused a piece of me to shut down and to be a little bit more timid because I was a product of a single mom, moving around from hood to hood, you know what I'm saying? Not necessarily, I'm not saying hood to hood, but not like, you know, hood. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. But my identity wasn't able to be shaped like some people who have pride of their neighborhood, have pride of their siblings, have pride of their last name. In fact, I had a different last name. I didn't quite look like the people who were around me. I spoke differently, and I always been bubbly and full of life. So in a lot of situations, I ended up having to protect myself because I had the lack of community, right? This led me into, some would call gang culture, some would call, but I really just wanted a sense of belonging. And this is often some of the trajectory that people go through in our neighborhoods and in our communities. The lack of, well, let's say, lack of community. They go through these things with wanting a sense of belonging and feeling sheltered. So moving forward, as I became an adult, I actually clung to my first husband. And it was a toxic situation, but again, going into wanting the sense of belonging. My first husband was Nigerian, and I love the culture. I love how together they were, and I just longed for that so much in my life. I put up with a lot of things that I really shouldn't have because I had the desire of belonging. And I want to let you know, if you are a woman who has put up with some things that are subpar because you didn't want to do it alone, maybe you've seen women in your life do it, maybe you've seen neighbors and you just didn't want to be that girl. That was me too, sis, right? But as someone who had the courage to walk away with nothing but the clothes in the back of her car and move back home and start over, and even went into hiding, let me tell you, community changed my life. Because at some of those lowest points that I told you about, being that girl that moved around from place to place, being that girl who had to leave a toxic relationship and move back home, community changed everything. If it had not been for the grace of God, we know, but then also some sisters who helped me get up out of my funk, who let me know that I wasn't alone, and that there was still more to come. Let me tell you, it's also another African proverb said, where there are many, nothing goes wrong. In life, you guys, we need other people, not only to hold our hand, but to hold us accountable to the greatness that we truly are. And like I said, Black woman, the help is not a curse word. It truly is a luxury. We need to require more in this season. We need to require more. We need to demand more. We need to expect more, not only from yourself, but the people that are around you. Okay? That led me to creating community in every area of my life. Like now I'm a mom of an 18-month-old, and I've moved from being this consultant that was all hands on deck. I was a consultant who acted like I was a full agency. But that comes from the toxic independence that I talked about. So now embracing this sense of community I've also learned a new area of capacity in life. So now when I was dealing with postpartum depression, I created a community that turned into a whole social club called the Rich Mamas Club. And me and 160 other Black women in the St. Louis region get together to have social events where we love on each other and we take care of each other. But that took me being vulnerable to know that I couldn't walk this journey alone. And when I was vulnerable enough to stand up and say, look, I need help, I need community, other women gathered around me. And we created something that has never been seen in my region. I'm one of the first spaces for a biopic social club in our region. And it's growing beautifully. And I am not only healing, but so many other mothers who have been suffering from postpartum depression and so many other things. I seen community take my business where in the pandemic, a lot of people, they went under. Community helped me scale my business and exit it. And those are some of the things that you can't quantify on your own. With search engine marketing and then being in the rooms of people who speak well, they speak well of you. When you're not there, it changed the game for me. See, a lot of us, we're powerhouses in our own right. We know how to do all of the things, right? And we do it looking good, like I said. But what if you find another use, sis? What happens when you meet that person that matches your energy, that looks at you and knows like, yeah, like you got that fire in you, I got you too. Let's light a match and let's set this city on fire. Let's set our region on fire, right? What happens when you become to that? So I want to go into some ways that you can build your own tribe. As a fractional CMO now, like I said, I went from a consultant from all hands on deck, acting like an agency, to now I only work on the highest level problems for my clients. And I found that my brain, it was able to flex. It was all about my capacity to receive. So the first thing, sis, I want you to do is I want you to get outside of your own head. I know that often, our mom, our grandmas, our aunties, you've seen them doing things alone. In fact, I got so many memories of, I don't want the people in my house. I don't want them to feel like, I don't want nobody to have to say I needed them and I have to owe them, all of that stuff. Bump that, sis. I know that we've been told those stories, but often what I have to tell myself is that's not my story. I'm allowed to be vulnerable. I am open and willing to receive. So you have to open up your mental capacity to let people in. Because please believe, if God made you, he made another one that's just like you. That your spirit sister, your tribe is out there waiting for you, but you lowered your vibration, you lowered your frequency to protect yourself from enemies that might not even be real. It might all be up here. So I need you to open up your ability to receive. That's number one. 2, I need you to get in the room. See, I used to be in a room, but I hid because I got one of them big personalities. Y'all see how I'm moving with my hands and doing all of this. So you know what? I got 2 types of people. I got people who love me and people who can't stand me. And I would focus on that 2% of people. And it's truly 2% because I'm a likable type of girl, right? But here's the thing. I would focus on that 2% and not the 98. I need you to get in a room and I need you to be you. No more shrinking, because your vibe will attract your tribe. So when you come in a room and you give it your all and you show them, look, y'all know Wakanda forever finna come back out again. You know what I'm saying? R.I.P. Chad. But anyway, Chadwick, coming back, Brittany. It's a scene in Wakanda in the Black Panther where she was like, they were in battle. And the Black Panther was fighting this other guy who wanted to come in for y'all know the scene. But the Queen Mother, our beautiful matriarch, Angela Bassett, she said, show him who you are, T'Challa. You remember that. I need you to hear the Queen Mother in your head. A lot of us, we are simply just taking on the projection of who we are. We're not really stepping into all that who we have been created to be, because we've been dimming our light. We've been shrinking. We've been taking on the situations, the generations of all of this other stuff that's not relevant for you. Don't you let anybody write your story, sis. You show them who you are. See, when I started coming into rooms and just allowing myself just to be, looking, whoever can't stand me, sis, I don't care no more. But at one point I would shrink and I wouldn't talk and I would sit in the back and because I didn't want anybody to call me on my genius. I didn't want anybody to call me on my brilliance. But let me tell you, every time that you dim, you are actually missing the other piece of you, that other person who's going to be touched by your story, that other person who's been waiting to hear that there's someone like them. So I need you to shine, sis. I need you to step up, sis. I need you to take up space. Okay? So we want to increase our capacity to receive. We want to get in a room and be all that we can be, baby. No army required. And then 3, I want you to be intentional in that space. I need you to know that there is room for you. But when you get in there, we all hear this in business, the fortune is in a follow-up. It's not enough for them just to see you once. It's not enough to just add someone on social media. It's not enough to just send an email. I need you to follow up and be intentional about the people who are going to be very, very key in your future, not only in business, but in life, sis. See, we wouldn't have a Rich Mamas Club right now if I wasn't intentional about getting around other Black women that might have been, experiencing postpartum or just had a hard shake at life with motherhood. And everybody got opinion about how you should be doing things, but just creating a space where just moms could just be moms. We leave the guilt behind. It wouldn't exist right now. If I had not been intentional, I threw meetups for a whole year. And some of them had 2 people. And then it grew to 20 people. And now there's 160 members here now, right? So I need you to be intentional. If nobody else rocks with you at first, I need you to rock with you. I need you to believe in your dream and be so relentless about the things that you want that it don't matter. You literally can project your belief on other people. Just like those fears, those thoughts, that independentness, all that stuff been projected on you. You could do the same. We show them who we are when we're intentional, right? So I need you to show up, show out, and then make them remember you. Be unforgettable. And you can only do that by being yourself. See, some of us, we've had a mask on so long from that independence, we're actually afraid to be hurt. That's really what it comes down to. See, your mama, she might have been hurt. Somebody left her. If you're a single mom, you might have thought that was going to last forever. See, we've all been let down. And really, that hyper independence is a result of the fear or the trauma of us being let down. But I want to tell you something, sis. In this human experience, we're going to experience things that are just sometimes just not great. They're going to hurt. But I need you to be strong enough to get back in the game and try again. Because you don't know when the next time you're going to strike the gold, and you might find that forever friend. You don't know when you're going to strike gold and then you're going to find a tribe of people that you can just be authentic with, that accept you for you, and that you can build lifelong legacy with. You don't know when you're going to strike gold. And then that person that you've been trying to be, you look in the mirror and you realize everything I need, I already have. You will never know if you shrink, if you stop, if you don't press go. So in this season, sis, I want you to embrace the rivers of life wherever they might be. But when you hop in that joint, go with your village, go with your tribe, find your sisterhood. So the crocodile, it might sniff around you, but you'll be surprised that when you show up and you play full on, the life will be scared of you. We're not letting life happen to us anymore. We have the capacity to receive, and we deserve help. It is our birthright, just like abundance. It's a luxury you deserve. So again, sis, remember this. Cross the river in a crowd, and the crocodile, he won't eat you. Okay.